Hi guys, welcome back to another one. Out in the garage today, working on a radio upgrade. So in the past, I've always had home stereo here. Just got one speaker for it, but have the home stereo here, and I use the radio CD player from that, just radio from it really. But now that I have the building insulated, this does not do what I need it to do. Hi guys, welcome back to another one. Out in the garage today, working on a radio upgrade. So in the past, I've always had this like a home stereo, just an old CD player, CD changer radio here, big and bulky thing. Now that I have the garage insulated, at least the walls insulated, I don't have a very good reception anymore. This is the style that has just a single wire coming out of it for the antenna. You know, if you stand here and hold it, I'll have perfect reception. If I let it go, might work, might not. I had a magnet that I had it to the wall, trying to connect to the metal there, just try to get a little bit better. It'd work. You walk away and stay in the right spot, might work. Most of the time you had to twitch your nose and hold your hand just right to get it to work, standing on the shop working on anything. So I have decided to put this in. It's an old car stereo that I had actually in one of my wife's old cars I've had in the garage or in the closet for a while, and decided I'm going to put that in. So it's a 12-volt system, and of course you could hook a battery, put a battery in here, put a battery charger or whatever. But I bought a 12-volt power supply. It's an AC to DC power supply, cheapo from Amazon. It's 12 volts, 10 amps. It runs off of 110 or 240. And I'm going to leave it set on 110 and hook it up. And then it's actually adjustable, so you can adjust the rate. And open it up here for you. Let's see if I can get this out here one-handed. So it's got the wire hookups there on the end. It's kind of hard to see through the plastic currently, but so these two right here are for your plug-in. Then you got a ground wire, be a third one, and then you have two negative DC voltage and two positive DC voltage. And then right over here, you have an adjustment where you can adjust it, a potentiometer there that you can adjust the voltage. So you can fine tune it to make sure you're running 12 volts. So just a cheapo off Amazon. I think it was like 10 bucks or something. Wasn't a whole lot. Hoping it works. Read the reviews on it. People used it for about the same thing. So I think it should be all right. So I'm gonna mount that up underneath there and wire it up to here, and then probably just go find some stereo speakers about like that one there. Just get some of them and mount them around the shop. So I'll take you outside here quick. I'm mounting the antenna outside. I just got a Marine Radio AM FM antenna. I'll show you how I mounted that. All right, it's kind of hard to see from here. Got the camper parked next to the ladder, so I really can't climb up there easily and hold the camera and everything. But I got a plate up there, just a plate I actually had laying around the shop that welded together as a T. And you can kind of see the bottom here. I just drilled the hole through the plate there and stuck it down through there, and then hooked the wiring on the bottom and just screw bolt. There's a bolt or an all thread with a nut, tightens it up to hold it together, which gives you your antenna. And I drilled a hole through the soffit there, and I ran it up through there and into the bird block, and then it's going to come down to plug into the radio. So I'm going to plug these together and pull that all the way into the garage there. Because I bought a 10-foot extension because the longest radio I could find with an antenna was like, well, I think this is like 4 feet. It's got the end on it, and it's only about 4 feet, but I think I might have been able to find like 6-foot one, but this was a little bit cheaper, and I still had to buy an extension, so I got a 10-foot extension so I can run that into the garage, run that down into the garage and plug it all in. So I'll show you when I get this all done. I'll show you how I did it and how it works. All right, guys, I actually had to change the plans here, change the radios. That big hunk of junk there didn't want to work. Plugged it all in, got it all hooked up, it turned on, just no reception. So I was unsure if my antenna coming in or what didn't work or not. A friend of mine loaned me his and decided he didn't need it. He had it in his garage, took it out of his car. And older guy, he doesn't really listen to the radio, and he uses the tracker. He takes the dog out, so he doesn't use the radio. He pulled this out a year ago and never used it, never put it back in. So he gave me it to test it out, and it works. Hooked it all up and actually gets radio stations and plays just fine. So making a box here for it, where this can mount up underneath that shelf there. I'm gonna mount that box right up in there just like that. I've got the radio mounted. It's got the actual sleeve in there. I got it pressed up in there, held in there, and the radio fits in there. Nice clean look on the outside. Mounted my power supply here. Let me tip this down. Mounted my power supply here. I got a screw up in here in the bracket there. A screw right down here holding it in. Got my positive and negative hooked up. There's a positive and then there's accessory. So like when you turn the key on, it comes on. I thought about wiring that into a switch so I could still turn the radio on and off. I thought, well, I just either kill the power to it or just turn the radio off. So if you did that, it'd keep all your, if you kept this yellow wire here hooked to a switch, you could turn it on and off and it'd still keep all your pre-programs or presets on there and everything. But like I said, I'll just turn the radio off. This thing doesn't use that much electricity the way it is. I currently have one set of speaker wires hooked up. So I got that out of a kit. I bought a marine radio for my boat off of auction and it didn't work. The radio didn't work on it, and kept the speakers and the speaker wires, but threw the radio away. So I got them hooked up to one. I don't know where the other one set's at, and if I can't find it, I'm gonna hook the rest of these up to some speaker wires coming out to have 4 sets of speakers coming out of there. And I might only have 2 speakers hooked up, or I might actually end up using 4, or I'm not quite sure yet. But give you what it looks like here, and like I said, I'll post another video here in a couple days when I get this all done. I'm gonna finish wiring these up and drill a hole and through the box and box this side in and the bottom in. The top will actually be up against the shelf here, so I'll leave that open, and I'm going to leave the back open. So maybe I'll just run the power wires out the back, but I'll leave that back open, so if I do need to access it later on, I can just pull the screws out and pull that down. But like I said, it's a nice little setup. Works pretty good. I'll have to find some YouTube friendly music and demonstrate it real quick when I get it all set up. But like I said, I'll post a video here in a couple days when I get the rest of this built and all put together. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.